Are we going to see another disqualification for the upcoming Pasquotank River Elite event? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new in one of those 80.4% of the people who watch this channel and haven't subscribed, please do me a favor. Hit that like and subscribe, become part of the team and family, and thank you. So while you're out for a bike ride and your boy CT calls you or texts you and says, "Is your phone blowing up?" Well, you need to stop and figure out what's happening. And this morning there was a rumor or news that there was a possible disqualification for the Pasquotank River, the upcoming event for the Bassmaster Elites. And the first thought is, it's April 1st. It's April Fool's Day. Is someone playing a joke on us? But then when you start to talk to a few of your friends and anglers and you talk to Scott Martin himself, then you realize that this is not an April Fool's joke. And Scott Martin could be disqualified from the Pasquotank River. He's going to take a polygraph on Saturday to prove if he broke that rule of no information and if he's innocent or guilty due to that polygraph, that upcoming polygraph. This would pretty much be 3 disqualifications over 2 years. If you remember last year at the St. John's, he fished an area he wasn't allowed to. Just recently, he fished Lake Okeechobee and got the no information rule broken, and he was disqualified from there. And this possible one is for the no information rule again, which is, quite honestly, really disappointing. Now, in talking to Scott, he isn't sure if he is going to take the polygraph or not take the polygraph. There's really 2 ways of dealing with this. Could he take the polygraph and pass and be perfectly fine? Sure, but there's text messages that say he did get this information from someone else over or for the water around surrounding the Pasquotank during off limits. Or he can just say, I don't want to take this polygraph. I don't believe in polygraphs. I think that if you ask the question wrong or different, that you can get a different answer. But it leads you to a lot of questions surrounding Scott and what he's done in his professional career. And quite honestly, I don't think this is a win situation for him in any situation, in any possible situation. I think there's proof that says he was asking or trying to get information during off limits. That is against the rules. I think that by not taking the polygraph almost assumes that you are guilty. And the narrative can be swayed either way. Getting in front of the possible information only helps him moving forward. But not doing the polygraph kind of means or kind of shows that maybe he is guilty. And he had told me point blank, I believe I'm innocent, but I'm not sure I'll pass the test. Now, the Okeechobee save face from Bass was one situation I didn't like at all. I think there was someone who did an article on Bass talking about how much mad respect he had for Scott Martin and his self-reporting of the disqualification. The problem with that is that it isn't true. Scott did not self-report. People might not like that, but he did not. If he was going to self-report, you need to remember one thing. He wouldn't have went out and went practice fishing. He knew about what was going on days before it. And if he was going to self-report, he would have done it then. Instead, he went pre-fishing and then got caught and then got in trouble and was disqualified. And that shows a lot about his character, unfortunately. The trustworthy and his honesty. This is not something that we're just hearing about one time. There have been many anglers recently who have said this has been going on for years. Not one, but numerous anglers. And within the community, it's something that is always a rumor. You never really know it. But here we have 2 cases back to back, which doesn't even make more sense. I had one angler completely confused about why he would do it a second time. And I said, maybe he's been doing it the whole time. Maybe he's gotten away with it for so long, this is part of his strategy of fishing. And I could be very wrong. It could be completely me just making up things in this little tiny brain of mine. Having back-to-back possible disqualifications for getting information when off limits is happening is horrible news for the Scott Martin brand. Because I've made this video twice. The first one was very harsh. Very harsh. But if guilty or found that he doesn't pass the polygraph or doesn't take the polygraph, I say this with all the respect I can, I would call him a cheater because he's getting information when it's not allowed. He is getting a competitive advantage when all the other anglers are trying to do their best not to. And to have it in a text or in a conversation, it only proves there's really one side to this story. And I wish the best for Scott, but it makes no sense why he would do this. It makes no sense why he would do it in Okeechobee, because he was without question one of the favorites down there. Pasquotank is drastically different. A lot of anglers haven't went there. If you haven't went up there and pre-fished, and now you're worried about how you're going to do when you're up there, then maybe you've decided to ask for some help. It's the wrong thing to do. You shouldn't be able to gain a competitive advantage. But come Saturday, because it's April 1st today, and it's 3:43, like I said, this is the second time I've done this video, we will find out if Scott is either stepping away from the Elite Series and not taking the polygraph, or if he takes the polygraph and passes. I've been told that I will be kept in the loop by Scott himself. So I wish him the best. I tried to be a lot more unbiased in this video because the first one was harsh. It really was harsh. Probably won't post that one. That wouldn't be fair to him. But I really question some of it. And it seems like it's just happening. It's happened too much. And it makes you question if he's truthful and honest and his integrity. And in this little industry where loyalty and integrity mean a lot, and everyone talking about positivity, the problem is that these things continue to happen. And these are things that they need to police. And I appreciate B.a.s.s for policing them and doing what is right. I don't appreciate B.a.s.s doing what they did in Okeechobee and not admitting what happened and then having this whole police or this whole parade of Scott Martin stuff during the tournament when he was disqualified for breaking a rule. I don't agree with that. I think that's bullshit. And B.a.s.s needs to be better to be transparent with us and the anglers, because there were several anglers today that had no clue about this. And I was surprising them with asking questions. Some of them didn't know, some of them knew several days ago. But it's a little suspicious. That's the best way to put it. And I'm really hoping that B.a.s.s makes sure that they do it right and they make sure that there's justice if he did get that information during off limits. So comment below and tell me what you think. What are your thoughts on this? Leave a comment below. I got to say thank you to all the new subscribers and members, all the people who are interactive on the channel. I really appreciate it. Last year was amazing. It's been phenomenal. You guys are amazing. But if you're not a subscriber, if you're one of those 80.4% of the people who haven't subscribed to the channel, I don't know why, but do me a favor and click that like and subscribe and become part of the team and family. I really would appreciate it. Remember, take a kid fishing, tight lines, cheers, and get your fish on.